I would go to jail for the family.
We've all known for months just how much trouble hip-hop mogul Diddy is currently facing. But what about his sons? With Diddy's name taking up all the headlines, some shocking news about his children's alleged crimes might have slipped under the radar. Here's what we know about what's going on with them. In April of this year, NBC dropped a bombshell when they reported that Diddy's son, Christian Combs, had become wrapped up in a scandal of his own. It was reported that in a new lawsuit, which also named Diddy himself as a defendant, claimed that Christian had harmed a woman working on his dad's yacht in 2022. In the lawsuit, the woman, Grace O'Marcaigh, alleged that Christian sexually assaulted her during a boat trip in December of that year. This allegedly took place just days before Diddy hosted a star-studded New Year's Eve party on the boat. Christian was accused of sexual assault, harassment, and infliction of emotional distress upon the employee. Diddy also got involved after being sued for liability as the person who chartered the yacht. He was said to have aided and abetted his son in his alleged misdeeds. In the lawsuit, the boat trip was described as having been sold as a wholesome family excursion that turned into a hedonistic environment. After the lawsuit started, a back-and-forth battle between the two parties' legal team ensued. A lawyer representing Diddy and Christian said that the suit was meritless and claimed that it was filled with manufactured lies. The lawyer went on to attack Grace's lawyer, Tyrone Blackburn, saying that it was the kind of thing they'd come to expect from him. In response, Tyrone chose to focus on Christian and the dark behaviors he might have learned from his disgraced father. After the suit was filed, he ominously said, "Like father, like son." He went on to claim that Christian had clearly adopted his dad's pattern and practice of depravity. Obviously, these were some pretty strong words that caught a lot of attention in the middle of all the other horrific allegations about Diddy that have come to light. However, this wasn't a one-off. Diddy's sons have been getting mixed up in Diddy's downfall for a while now. During the raid on his Los Angeles home in March, several people were detained, although Diddy was not thought to be present at the time. And reports stated that two of the mogul's sons were amongst those that Homeland Security apprehended, as well as Christian. Justin Combs was reported to be there. There even appeared to be footage which captured the pair allegedly being arrested. The footage, while fuzzy, showed two men who were believed to be Justin and Christian as they were handcuffed by authorities. However, it was not reported whether a formal arrest took place or not. With so much still unconfirmed about so many details in Diddy's ongoing meltdown, it's hard for any outlets to share too much information. However, that hasn't stopped Christian from sharing his take on what's been going on. Page 6 reported that Christian took to Snapchat after the raids to address the arrests, and what he later said online was pretty cryptic. Christian wrote on Snapchat, "Stop with the cap." After all the harrowing allegations that have been made against his father, it seemed that Christian was attempting to claim that they have all been lies. On top of that, he might have been asking his followers or news outlets to stop spreading the allegations around. Or else, could the message have been addressing Diddy's accusers directly? Whatever the case was, it looked like at least one of Diddy's kids was standing by him throughout the controversy he's been stuck in ever since. Just recently, reports emerged of Christian's presence during his dad's legal proceedings as we await his trial. People magazine reported that Christian arrived at court in Manhattan with a group of 7 friends for Diddy's arraignment. He and his entourage each asked for a copy of Diddy's indictment. Christian was seen in the arraignment room reading through the 14-page document which outlined the many charges his dad was facing. What might Christian have been looking for? Could it be that he was checking to see if his own name was mentioned anywhere? If so, he must have been relieved to find it nowhere in the indictment. However, whatever the outcome of Diddy's trial, there's probably no way that Christian or his brothers can walk away with their reputations undamaged. They have all lived their whole lives in the spotlight, but until recently, the public only seemed to express goodwill toward them. After the tragic loss of their mom, Kim Porter, this only increased. 6 months after losing her, Diddy said that the family was doing well. He said that they were handling their grief together, and he put a lot of that down to their extended family. He thanked the moms of his other children, as well as grandparents and Kim's friends. In fact, there was even some good that came out of the tragedy, because Diddy said that Kim's passing changed him and his family. It made them all love each other even more, which he put down to the way Kim loved them all when she was alive. It looked like Diddy was very much a presence in the lives of all his kids. While that seemed like a great thing at that tragic time, it has now led to people questioning his sons and their behavior as adults. As Grace's lawyer suggested, they might have picked up on some really concerning patterns of behavior due to their exposure to Diddy, which is obviously not something any child should have to go through. But Diddy's sons are not the only kids who have allegedly been exposed to Diddy. Earlier this year, a clip shared on TikTok showed more distressing behavior concerning another child allegedly under Diddy's care, and what it showed upset a lot of people. The clip appears to come from Instagram Live and shows Diddy showing off his so-called adopted daughter, a young girl called Ava Baroni. The Bad Boy founder tells the child to introduce herself. She says that her name is Ava Combs Baroni. Diddy then alleged that he actually adopted Ava while stating that she also has beautiful parents of her own. However, he also calls Ava his child, and he asks her to share the story of how he adopted her. Ava jokes that she was actually on the streets before Diddy found her and decided to take her in. She describes Diddy's twin daughters, Jessie and Delilah, as basically sisters to her. Diddy's extensive family are now facing almost as much scrutiny as him, either as fellow dangerous people or as victims. Whether or not any of his sons could face punishment for their alleged involvement is yet to be determined. What do you guys think about all this? Will any of Diddy's sons go to jail? Should they? Do you think they might be somehow guilty too? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below.